Looking back to my undergrad days primarily, one thing that I've learned and one thing that I would have done differently is to choose a university that's located in the area that I intend to work in after graduation. So for myself, I sometimes for some summers I was very successful in getting a summer job, and sometimes I wasn't. But after looking back in hindsight, getting a summer job wasn't the end all be all, and it wasn't a dictator in terms of gaining extracurriculars or experiences. Because what I found is there were a lot more opportunities offered during the school year opposed to the summer season. A lot of jobs in the summer season were already finite in nature, and oftentimes what I found was employers preferred a longer duration of a job. So 4 months in general is quite short, so and it wouldn't really help me find a job in longer in duration. Especially in particular, I chose a university that was more away from the city, and it wasn't in the area that where the majority of the jobs that I was looking for or where I wanted to work in were located. So in hindsight, I would have picked a university that was more located in the area that I would want to work in afterwards. Because one, even if I don't find a summer job, that's okay, because during the school year I can find a job part time that works in those organizations. And two, being located in that area will allow me to continue to visit those people, to continue to have coffee chats or lunches. It will help me substantially more in maintaining those networks opposed to just an email here or there. And finally, the most important reason is if I can find a job during the school year opposed to the summer, one, there's a lot more opportunities offered because a lot of students only look for jobs in the summer. So it's already a very competitive season in nature. And then, coupled with there's not many co-ops or summer positions in general. So you're further compounded with the fact of finite spots and a lot of people gunning for the same positions. But compared to the regular school season where a lot of students don't look for jobs, what I found is that, there were plenty of jobs on campus and off campus during the season, and it would allow me to have a longer duration of working for 8 months, for example, which is double the time of a summer position. And a lot of employers did enjoy that because they wanted to see that you were able to develop your skills or to lead projects for a longer period of time. So there are a lot of benefits of attaining a longer student position, even if it's part-time. So looking back, one thing that I would have done differently is to choose a university that was more located in the region of where all the jobs were located, and also in particular where I wanted to work in. For me, where all the jobs were located was also the same area where all the jobs I was looking at. So where I wanted to work post-grad was also the same area where all the jobs were located because it was the urban hub in my country. So looking in hindsight, I should have picked a university in that area because not only would I've been at the undergrad level, would have been exposed to professors who, will likely have networks in that area and can help me find a job. But two, even if I wasn't successful during the summer, I could have found a part-time job in this area too, and would have helped me, find a full-time job post-grad much easier compared to me picking a suburban university, 2-3 hours away from the urban hub. This really only forced me, and it only really allowed me to find summer jobs because it wasn't possible for me to fly back and forth between the two areas to pursue a part-time job. Especially remote work wasn't really a thing back then. So looking back, if you are considering choosing between a university that's more located in an urban hub where all the jobs are versus a more suburban university, my advice to you is to pick the urban one, because for myself that's definitely a regret for me. And looking back, I think I would have been open to a lot more opportunities back then. That's not to say I didn't make it work. I definitely found opportunities on campus and off campus. I found jobs, throughout the summers and also throughout the school year. And I ended up being able to succeed in what I do today. But it was a difficult course, and I had to do a lot of cold emailing. I had to do a lot of interviews. I failed a lot of interviews. I failed a lot of, job offers. I didn't get the majority of what I applied to. There were jobs back then that I really wanted and I didn't get, picked up. So it was definitely a very disappointing time and a very stressful time as well. And looking back, I think, if I had chosen a more urban university, this may have helped my chances.